Hello everyone, it's Richard here again with a follow-up video to my earlier UBI one about a few days ago, because I realised I'd forgotten something about tax, and I thought I should include it. These videos are unscripted, so I tend to make mistakes, so sorry about that. Anyway, to recap, modern monetary theory basically states that with a fiat currency which is not tied to any kind of commodity like silver or gold or anything like that, you can just create money as you wish on demand, just by putting some numbers in the bank account. This is the government I talk about, of course. And so the concern there is if you have, say, £1,000 per month being given to everybody via the UBI model, might that then cause inflation? Which is an obvious question. It's a lot of money, And the MMT response is to use tax as a way of controlling inflation, because it takes money out of the supply, whereas previously the UBI payments put money into the supply. So the taxation is purely as kind of a brake mechanism to prevent inflation from going. But I'm not sure that actually works. I don't know. This is a bit of a controversial theory. There's a lot of criticism. It's hard to believe, and there's a risk of hyperinflation. As I said earlier, if you put money into the economy and you can spend it on services and things, there's you get more stuff produced with no inflation, because the supply meets the demand. But if something like housing, where the supply is fixed more or less, you can't build houses quickly, or suddenly find some vacant ones for people to fill. It's pretty hard work, I'm sure you know. So if then you put more money into the economy, the price will rise. It's inevitable, because the demand increases, but the supply is much the same. So the rents will rise, the mortgages will rise, the house prices will increase, which defeats the whole object of UBI in a way, because it's meant to be able to sort of give housing to the homeless and for free, basically. It's hard to believe, I know, but it's the ideal. And it's quite a tricky situation. I don't really see how you get around that. So the argument is to tax people. So if you had, say, a tax of 20% of the house purchases, maybe, that would deter the demand. Of course it would reduce the demand, but it wouldn't get rid of it. So if, say, you had £1,000 to spend per month from UBI, and you got taxed 200, that still is £800 of money which you didn't have before. It's new money. So it still gets spent, and still puts pressure on inflation and price rises. So I don't really understand that argument. As a theory, but I'm not sure how well it works in practice. So I think UBI is a nice idea. I know there's been pilot projects which look very promising, but when you consider the whole country and the amount of money involved, the sheer scale of it is really quite daunting to think how it could possibly work and not result in inflation. So if any experts out there actually tell me how that happens, I'll be very grateful to know, because right now I just don't see it, to be honest. I want to. I like UBI, but I just don't get the actual model. And the other point is that I think with the UBI, it's a great opportunity to actually make sure the wealthy pay their fair share tax. Because I'm thinking using a sales tax, which again is controversial, because normally when you have a sales tax, prices rise, and therefore poor people got to pay it. But you simply set the UBI level to take account of that. So you have a sales tax of, say, for giving it 20% again. So everything you buy, you have to pay 20% sales tax. That means that the wealthy have to pay their fair share of tax. It's quite appealing, I think. But again, in the MMT model, tax is purely used to reduce inflation. is just take money out of the supply, not to provide revenue to the treasury, which is what most people think of. If they know anything at all, they think the tax we paid goes towards the government, and the government uses that tax to pay for services, which is true, I'm sure. But the MMT model says, well, no, it doesn't really work that way. You can create money now because it's just fiat currency. It's not the old-fashioned way of thinking, doesn't apply. So you can create money on a whim, and then tax people to make sure the inflation doesn't occur. As I say, I just don't see how that occurs. Sorry to disappoint anybody, but I like UBI, and I'm quite keen on the idea, but I've written my own website about it. But sadly, I'm not convinced it's actually viable. That's my conclusion, because MMT just really begs belief. I get the idea. I can see how that could work, because fiat currency is not tied to any gold or anything, as I said earlier. Therefore, you can create money. I get that. Just add it to your bank account, you got the money. But how do you stop inflation? That's the bit I don't get. If there's spare capacity in the economy, as MMT says, then fine. You can get more and more stuff built and made, also more services, much needed services, social care and food supplies and all kinds of homeless being housed, all this kind of thing. It's all required. There's masses of demand for money and investment. But if you've got a fixed price asset like property, then the prices of that asset will increase. There's no way of avoiding that conclusion. I don't see how taxation is going to actually prevent that from occurring. It may be purely psychological. That is possible, because people don't like paying tax. A lot of people don't like paying tax. Don't like losing stuff they've already got. That's a well-known driver for people. In fact, there's a whole economic model built for that now. The fear of loss. But as I say, I just don't get how the inflation is avoided. So I think I will better not leave it there, because it's a really unsatisfactory position to be left in. So I think I'll do more research and do yet another video, maybe a third of the trilogy. We'll see. I think it makes sense. Anyway, that's it. Basically, the money can be created on demand. Taxation is there to cut down inflation, and whether it actually works or not is debatable. And it's a very controversial theory. So sadly, as things stand at the moment, I'm not sure UBI is actually viable. Sorry to say that. I wish it were, but I'll find out more and get back to you. Okay, bye. I'll subscribe and push the like button and spread the word and say hello and comment and things, and I'll see you later. Okay, bye.